everybody, and welcome to the What's Cooking Coogs Cooking Tour. My name is Feye. I'm the campus dietitian, and I'm hosting the event tonight. So thank you guys all for coming. And this gentleman besides me is Michael Bargas. He is our executive chef with Dining Services. And if you don't know, What's Cooking Coogs is an event hosted by Residence Life and Student Housing and UH Dining Services. So thanks again for coming out tonight. And we are going to be making C-store cheesecake. Okay? I'm so excited. Yeah, it's a fun, it's easy, it's versatile, and you can make it really nutritious too. But before we get started, let's hold up our prizes tonight. Yes, so you guys all have a 6-piece piping set, so you can decorate your own cakes and cheesecakes at home or here in the dining halls or in residence halls. So let's go ahead and get started. What do you have for us today, Chef?
Thank you, Sarah. As she said, we have cheesecake, and the goal here was to produce this with ingredients that you could buy at the C-store. So this is something that you could do in your dorm rooms. And sometimes we've had the disclaimer of don't do this in your dorm room because it'll set off smoke alarms or something. But thankfully, this is one that you can do completely in your dorm room. So as you can imagine, most cheesecakes that you work with have eggs in them, so they bake and they set, and it takes forever to do. You're not obviously going to have that option in your dorm rooms. So this one is much more of a mousse in nature. It's still built with the same ingredients, and it still will set up fairly firm if you put it into a refrigerator for a while. But I want to eat it tonight, so we're just going to make this mousse. So what we're doing is just started out with cream cheese. So again, just regular old cream cheese. What I want to do is I want to whip this a little bit so that it loosens up, softens up. If you want, you can get one of these little hand mixers, right? Fairly inexpensive, and they'll do the job very well. Essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this started, and I'm going to incorporate the sugar. So I want the sugar, sugar is very abrasive. It will sort of break up the cheese a little bit so that you don't get lumps later on, okay?
I like as a tip, if you don't want to use regular sugar, you can use Splenda, but I always do half the Splenda that I would sugar.
So you can see it's starting to sort of form peaks, so it's holding its shape. You'll also notice that I didn't put all of the sugar in. I want to be able to control the sweetness. So sometimes you might have slight variations on the sweetness of your cream cheese, or depending on what type of yogurt you end up using, it might have different levels of sweetness as well. So hold a little bit back. You can always go back and add some more in. So at this point, I'm just going to put in our Greek yogurt, again from the C-store. I like strawberries, so I picked strawberries. I'm also going to go ahead and add in a little bit of the honey. Again, the honey is going to add sweetness, so I do want to be able to control that. But it's also going to loosen this up a little bit, so it'll be a little bit softer. The last thing that you always want to be careful about doing is just using a spatula to scoop out the bottom. A lot of times, particularly with the cream cheese, because it is so sticky, it'll stick to the bottom. I don't know if you can see these big chunks of white. That's from just sticking to the bottom. So use a rubber spatula to get that up. That way you can fully incorporate it. Again, you want strawberry yogurt cheesecake. You don't want big chunks of just cream cheese floating around in there.
Or another fun tip, if you really like one of the smears over at Einstein's, you can actually buy their cream cheese spread too. So they have a honey one that's really good. They have a strawberry one that's really good, a blueberry smear that's really good too. So that smells really good.
So this comes together pretty quickly. Now the tough part, tasting.
The rough part, you guys.
Yeah, so it's, it holds up pretty well. More honey. So as I said earlier, I went ahead and prepared some. So we have this here. We'll be able to scoop some of this out later on. And what I wanted to do is show you just a couple of things to add to your mousse. A lot of times, with cheesecakes, you'll have some sort of base, a cookie crumb base of some sort. I threw Sarah a head fake because I got to the store today and the Oreos were calling my name. So I went with Oreos. But there's a bunch of cookies there. They have those honey grams that work really well. They have a couple of other cookies that you can do. And essentially, you just want to crumble them up. All right, there's no real magic there. If you're making something that you want to set, like a base, then sure, you'll want to incorporate the butter and the sugar that's in the recipe. But for this one, I literally just took the Oreos, took this piece, I ate this piece.
Uh-oh, how many Oreos did you eat, Chef? Was it in moderation?
No.
Busted by the dietitian.
And then just use the back of a spoon just to smash them up. So again, if you have like a food processor or something like that, then this process is a lot easier. You can really break them up into a fine crumb. But for this purposes, this is perfect. And then I just wanted to do sort of a different little take on the sauce. At the C-store, and all three that I've been to and really evaluated for ingredients, they have the dry banana chips. And you can just buy those by the ounce. And what I did was I took just a flavored drink, one of the ones that sort of matches with the other ingredients, and just broke up the banana chips, put them in the microwave with the liquid just to heat it up, and that sort of started the process of rehydrating it. So this is going to have a little bit of texture. It'll have that sort of sweet banana flavor, and it'll bring the berry to the final product as well. Again, pretty much anything will work here. If you just have berries that you puree, that'll be just fine. Rehydrating different fruits, that works out really well. Again, if you have a blender, blending that up into a smooth thing is just as fine, okay? What we'll do is we've got piping bags, and I just wanted to give you guys the opportunity to look at piping, look at a couple of different techniques, how to hold the bag, how to work the piping bag, and hopefully we'll come up with some pretty shapes that you can have for yourself, and you can make your plates as big as you want, okay? So whenever you're working with these things, it's important to remember a lot of times that the stuff that you're going to use is going to go through, right? So you just have to be careful with how you're holding it, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to just start out with our base. Basically, give me somewhere for this thing to land. Typically, you're just going to want to grip this thing and sort of give it a little bit of a twist so that you have a good handle on it. You're just going to put it between your thumb and your first finger. Just give it a little bit of a twist. And you're only really going to apply pressure with your first two fingers. All right, your last fingers really aren't going to do anything. Your free hand will help to guide it and shape it. In this case, just want to give it a little bit of a spin so you can create some height, but also keep it sort of centralized. Depending on how firm or loose your product is, you'll be able to make different shapes. You'll be able to pipe out either elongated pieces or tall pieces, things like that. So some of your doughs will do that. I just want to give you guys a chance to do like worst case scenario because this mousse is fairly soft. Controlling the bag, controlling the amount that you put off, and then just finish it off with a little bit of our topping. Okay? So we'll have just a sort of a funky little cheesecake mousse.
Wouldn't this be a really good snack to have? Say you're having some friends over to study for an exam. I know spring break's coming up, so maybe some of y'all have some projects that are due. You could quickly run to the C-store, make something this simple, and have a nice, relatively healthy snack with your friends. It's still a little decadent. Still feel like you're getting some dessert.
Sarah, how many calories in this?
This is, I believe it's 351 calories for if you were to buy this by 12 servings. So that's a lot less than that big hunk of cheesecake that you might get from your friend's house. So did y'all like this today?
Yes.
So good. So that wraps it up for the What's Cooking Coogs Cooking Tour. Tonight was the 5th episode and we made C-Store cheesecake. So thank you guys again for coming out tonight. And we still have one more event left in our Cooking Tour series. It's on April 8th, again on a Tuesday, 7 o'clock, and we're going to be over here at Fresh Food Company located in Moody Towers. And we're going to make sweet chili chicken lettuce wraps. So come out to that. Yes, we have more prizes to give away, more food to try, and of course you guys can work on your cooking skills too a little bit. So come out to our next event, and thank you again for coming here tonight.
I'm Katie White. I'm a senior in computer science, and it's really awesome to come to the What's Cooking Coogs shows because you get to see a lot of variety, a lot of what's available on campus. We made the C-Store cheesecake, and that's kind of awesome. You could actually find all the ingredients to make a cheesecake at the C-Stores. And it was especially awesome because it was so much healthier than usual cheesecake. It's 350 calories instead of 800 per piece. And it tasted really good. I liked, they gave us a lot more flexibility with it, the different fruits you could use, the different yogurt flavors you could use, that you could leave it kind of as a mousse, or you could, if you could actually restrain yourself that long, you could actually make it into a nice cake or even like pudding pops. It was really cool all the way around.
Hey everyone, my name is Karash. I'm an optometry student here at UH. I'm a first year student. I found out about What's Cooking Coogs through Facebook and some friends, and I thought I'd check it out. Today we made a C-Store cheesecake, which is a great recipe where you can take advantage of all the things that they sell in the C-Store, such as Oreo cookies, Chobani yogurt, and just simple items that are found almost everywhere. And it's been a lot of fun. It seems like pretty easy to make, and the great part is you get to practice right at the tours event, so you remember all the steps. And I've already tried to make some stuff at home, and it's been a lot of fun. I definitely plan to come back in the future. I've been to every single episode so far, every single taping, and it's been a lot of fun. And I hope they do it again next year, because I really have enjoyed being involved in it. Go Cougs!